I just don't understand what the big hype about the series is.
I do. I understand it.
It's at the top of people's list. They're saying like this is like the best fantasy of all time. I'm reading it. I'm like, this seems like a waste of my time. Let me know in the comments. Defend that series. I don't understand. If it weren't for Gabby pushing me and saying like we could do this for the podcast, I probably would have DNF'd about 5 times, like in the first book actually. All right, welcome to David and Gabby's Book Club. I'm David. This is my beautiful wife, Gabby.
Hi, everyone.
And this is a podcast where we just hang out, chill, and talk about books and book-related topics. So today, Gabby, what are we talking about?
We are going to go into an end of summer update / beginning of fall update. It's been a hot second since we've sat down to film a podcast episode, so we have a lot to fill you guys in on about what we've been reading, what we've been up to, and just what the podcast is looking like. Yeah,
like basically why we haven't been posting, even though we had very lofty goals for this podcast, and we just fell flat on our face.
Yeah.
So we're gonna address that as well.
Yep. So let's get into it.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to just start right off the bat about talking about why we haven't posted, maybe. So basically, what was our goal? Like our goal at the beginning of the year was to post one podcast every week. Right,
which I think because of the timing, and we were posting on Wednesdays, it would come out to, I think, 53 episodes.
Yeah, 53.
Because, so our goal was 53 episodes. And how many have we done to date?
I think this is like the 14th or 15th, maybe, I want to say.
I have this down as the 10th.
I know we've posted more than that. Let me. Okay, I just checked, and we've posted 13 episodes. So
not quite 53. Not quite 53.
Yeah, we've. I mean, it's not the end of the year yet, so we would probably have been at like 40 or 43 by now. Instead, this is 14. So we fell pretty flat on our face. So the reason for that, we had these lofty goals. My whole plan was to just do this podcast and like build a business off of like doing podcasts for businesses, and this being kind of like a showcase, essentially.
Kind of a case study.
Kind of like a case study of like what you can do on YouTube with podcasting if you do it consistently. And things just like, it was not well timed, I guess, it would be one thing.
Right.
And I just went a little too hard on the editing and stuff. I didn't build a system to kind of
to maintain everything that you decided to do.
Yeah, and committed to at the time, because I had committed to a lot of other things for some other businesses.
Those definitely took precedent over this.
Yeah, and we had a newborn. So when we stopped is kind of like around the time when Gabby went back to work.
Mm-hmm. We just had more things to juggle than we could handle for a minute there.
So the brand new YouTube channel that wasn't really making money. I mean, no YouTube channel this small makes money, but that was the easiest thing to just drop in our lives, and so we did. But just kind of going more into doing more for the business and all of that stuff, I've kind of, I don't know, just recently I've just really wanted to just do the book club just for fun. Not that we weren't doing it for fun earlier. Like we were still doing it for fun, but now it's just like, it's not as much for the business of like getting other people's podcasts. It's more for just like, I just really wanted to do this podcast. It was really fun. And I think, yeah,
it's a really fun way to be intentional and to spend time together.
Yeah.
Right. There is an aspect of it that there's an element of work associated with it. I guess I would say we have to plan, we have to set aside time without kids. So that's either finding someone outside of our house to watch the children or doing this in the evening time. And so there's just a lot of elements to making this a priority. But I think at the end of the day, it's a topic that we both like to talk about, and it's time for both of us to spend time together intentionally. So yeah, there's a lot of really good elements to this.
So
that's where we've been.
That's why we're back at it. I mean, we have been reading since we stopped, and we did, like, we had a plan of what to read. And so it's not like we haven't been reading, so we still have stuff to talk about. And I think last time I said that we were going to be doing Lycanius next, and we did read the Lycanius trilogy. So we will be doing episodes on each book of the Lycanius trilogy. And right now we're actually working through the Dandelion Dynasty. So
David's working through the Dandelion Dynasty. I have completed the Dandelion Dynasty about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
David's struggling especially on the last book.
I just don't understand. Like,
they're massive books. Think like 1,000 pages.
Yeah.
For the last couple.
Well, the audiobooks are like 45 to 50 hours, basically.
Right. So he's
crazy long.
You're at the 40% mark?
Yeah. I'm at the 40% mark, which is like 500 pages into this
book. So he's making some good headway.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
Granted, there'll be we'll be able to talk about it in the episode for that. But I just don't understand, like, what the big hype about the series is. Like,
I do. I understand it.
Everyone always just like, it's at the top of people's lists. Like, they're saying like this is like the best fantasy of all time, and I'm just like, I'm reading it. I'm like, this seems like a waste of my time. Like, if I wasn't like,
yeah,
I don't know. That might be like, let me know in the comments. Like, defend that series. I don't understand why it's so great. I've almost if it weren't for Gabby pushing me and saying like we could do this for the podcast, I probably would have DNF'd about 5 times, like in the first book actually. And then I wouldn't have DNF'd in the second book, and then the third and fourth I would have DNF'd like 4 or 5 times in each of the third and fourth books.
Let's get back to what our episode is about. Yeah. So that's where we've been, why we haven't been around for a hot second, but let's just take a moment. We did an episode a while back on goals for the year, and I think we're 3/4 through the year. So I think it's a good time to just like take a second and see where we're at.
Yep. And you had our goals.
I have the goals that I remember that we set, but I didn't actually look at what I had written down or referenced. So this is like purely based off of memory.
All right.
I remember I had set a goal to read 35 books.
Yeah.
And as of today, I'm at 25.
That's pretty good.
I know. And I was worried when I was confident when I said it. And then when I said it, David thought that was a little bit ambitious. And so then I was worried. But now I'm feeling confident again.
Yeah. I don't remember what mine was. Was mine 25?
Yours was, I don't know.
There we go. I found it. I found it in last year's book. The goals. So we've got... No, I had 35. Are you sure you had 35? Because I thought yours was higher than mine.
Now I'm questioning myself. Let me go get my book. Apparently, I had 40 total. Oh, man. Okay, so 25 is still a good chunk of books.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're still good.
I'm still good. I'm not as good as I thought I was.
Granted,
I was thinking 10 was going to be a push. 15, though.
Granted,
we'll just see what happens.
Granted, Dandelion Dynasty is like 2 books a piece. Like, they're so long.
Yeah, the like Dandelion Dynasty definitely. That took a good chunk of time.
So I had 35 books, and I've read 17. So I've not been reading very much, partially because like I think I've been on the Dandelion Dynasty for like 3-4 months, because it's just like a drag for me to get through those books. Like, it is just they're slow going for me.
Which I guess they picked up for me.
Yeah.
And I think for a minute there, they picked up for you as well. I think you also have like some side hobbies that are taking some of your attention. And so that book
I don't know, whenever I read, like, when I was reading stuff I liked, It was just like easy to keep reading and to go through those books fast. Like I reread Red Rising this year, and I blew through those books, like even with those side hobbies.
See, I'm torn because in my mind, if I were in your shoes, I would just push through the book because you've made it through almost the whole series, and it's such a big series, and I wanted to know how everything wrapped up, but maybe you don't have that investment.
I'm gonna sound like super cruel, especially for people who love this series, but I'm just like, I just really don't care.
Yeah.
So like it's just a drag for me, like absolute drag. I just don't.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see if you end up finishing it. Yeah. At what point do you DNF a book?
I would have DNF if it weren't for the book club. I would have DNF'd this like 30 or 40% into the first book. I would not have, like, it was already. I literally was halfway through the first book and I had no idea what was going on.
Well, see, I was cool with you DNFing it, and then I was in the second book, and there were some cool things happening, and I was like, David, I think if you stick with it, you'll actually enjoy it. And I think you actually enjoyed. I enjoyed the second book,
and then the third book was. The second book's the only good one that I enjoyed.
The first half of the third book, I was like, this is good. Still, I think that you'll be. And then the second half of the third book, I was like, oh, okay, I think we're gonna lose David. I think, yeah.
I just not impressed with this series. Not impressed.
Anyways, that's been kind of a drag, a reason for the lower book count.
Yeah.
And here I am. My balloon just deflated a little bit, I was like, I am 10 books away. I'm doing so good.
Yeah.
And apparently I passed Gabby, thought that 40 books was just the right idea.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
There's some time.
What are some highlights of what you've read this year so far?
Highlights. I really liked What the River Knows and Where the Library Hides by, I think, Isabel Inez or something like that. Those books, I think are technically young adult fiction, fantasy, and like a historical, think not ancient Egypt. I'm trying to think of the time period. Maybe like Victorian England, Egypt, mystery, a touch of romance, just really fun. So I really liked those.
Well, you had to push through a little bit on the second one though, right? Because you read the first one and you were like, oh, that was amazing. And then you read the second one, you're like, this is completely different. I remember you telling me that and you were upset about it. And then like after a little bit, you were like, no, it's right back. It's back. It's good.
Yeah, I do remember that now at the beginning because it just didn't follow the train of thought that I wanted it to follow at the end of because sometimes when you finish something, a book, a movie, you're really invested in a certain plot and you're really excited for the next installment of whatever because you want to follow through on that plot.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't pick it up at the plot. They're like, yeah, I think if I remember correctly, that's what I was a little bit frustrated with. I was like, why are we just like focusing on this so much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember you saying that. You're just like, it's not even like, it's a completely different story. And then like a few days later, you were like, we're back. We're good.
Yeah. And overall thoughts and memory is that I really enjoyed the second one too. So
yeah, I mean, obviously you didn't remember. You like gave me a questioning look of like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, you remember more than me apparently.
So yeah, I mean, I reread a lot of stuff this year, which is kind of like, well, it's not really cheating because I read 17 books,
right?
I just reread a lot of stuff. So I reread Red Rising. So good. So good.
Yeah.
Even the third time through, I was just tears. Literally, like Gabby came home one day. She's like, "How was your day?" I was like, "Well, I read a certain part of Red Rising again, and it got me again." Then I reread Lycanius. It was your first time. And it gets a lot of criticism, but I really like the Lycanius trilogy.
I really enjoyed that too.
Yeah, it's a fun read. I enjoyed it a lot. But
yeah, finishing it made me want to read Will of the Many again because it was by the same author, and I DNF'd Will of the Many last year.
Yeah, because it was just too dark and intense for you.
Yeah, at the time. But yeah, after reading Lycanius, I'm like, I think I would really like that.
Yeah.
Other highlights. I thought it was interesting. A lot of my books have been in 3 different categories. We have like a fun category where like Lycanius lives and What the River Knows and Dandelion Dynasty and a couple other randoms. And then I've read a lot of parenting books, including like How to Toilet Train Your Toddler.
Oh, yeah.
And How to Parent a 2-year-old. And all of those things. And then I've read a couple books about food. Yeah. Just like eating clean and different things like that. So
that's a big one. Like, not just reading, but like it's changed our life. Like we've like changed a lot in terms of like what we've been eating and eating clean and good foods and all of that because of what Gabby's been reading. So it's like
great. It started with What the Bible Has to Say About Healthy Living, which was thought-provoking.
Yeah.
And then I read 100 Days of Real Food, which I thought it was just a cookbook that I got from the library, but then it was an actual book at the beginning with some recipes at the end. And that led me to read In Defense of Food, which is not a book I ever thought I would read. I went to college for ag econ, and a lot of the things in this book were slammed on in a lot of my classes. And so it was just so intriguing to just hear another point of view than I've heard for a long time. Anyways, all of that to say, yes, it has changed a lot of what we've been eating, which has been a positive thing.
Yeah, it's been great. We've been feeling great. Mm-hmm. I also reread, again, another thing I reread was The Creative Act. So I'm sure like if you're any sort of creative at all, you probably know what The Creative Act is. It's on my bookshelf over there. Mm-hmm. But it's an interesting book because it's by Rick Rubin, who I think is like music producer, I want to say. I can't remember. He's some creative professional, and he's been very successful. It's literally just, it's such a short book, and it's not even like a cohesive like front to back story type thing. It's just like, let's talk about this, then let's talk about this, let's talk about this, like different topics all the time. Yeah. And it's just different things about just the creative act and what it's like being a creative. And he talks about how like everyone is a creative in some way, and just how to live that out and express that. I think we have a lot different, very different worldviews. So that there's just a few things that I had to take with a grain of salt. Like if you're a believer, just taking certain things with a grain of salt, obviously with that. And some of the things were just like, okay, that's weird. Like, but even it's funny because even he says it's like some of these things you might read and you just toss them out, but the other things you keep and they're good for you. Like whatever helps you, whatever doesn't, and it's fine. Basically, because they were all just like his opinions and stuff on creative people and how to be the best creative you can be, basically. And honestly, that has really motivated me more and more. Every time I read that book, I'm just like, man, I need to get back on YouTube. Like not like consuming YouTube, but like making YouTube videos. Like I want to make content. Mm-hmm. And that's part of the reason why I'm like, I kept pushing Gabby. It's like, let's do the book club. Like, I think I really want to do the book club. And this isn't my only YouTube channel. I have a disc golf YouTube channel that I had for a while, but I don't know how sustainable that is to do that. This one's a lot more sustainable to do, even though I have a built up, the channel's built up for the disc golf stuff. So it's been difficult to kind of choose between like, oh, I still want to make disc golf stuff, but at the same time, like,
right, you only have so many hours in a day.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So
a book I'm reading right now was talking about in your 30s. He was discussing a lot of the different questions people ask in different decades of their lives.
Yeah. Well, what book was it?
Oh, it's called A Resilient Life by Gordon MacDonald.
Yep. I talked about it in my top 5 books of all time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot about that.
If you watched that episode.
I've read it before in college, but it's been a hot second, and apparently I retained very little. But yeah, in this chapter, he's talking about the different questions people ask in different decades of their lives. And in the 30s, one of the questions he mentioned, it was something to do with, what do I have to say no to? You're just at a stage of life where you have more responsibilities and you have the same amount of time.
Yeah.
So that hit home. I was like, that's very accurate.
Yeah.
I bet all of these questions for the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s are also accurate.
Yeah. I remember reading it because I read that in college. I remember reading like, wow, the teenage years really was like that question, or like the 20s is like, wow, that's really is what I'm wrestling with right now.
Like, who am I, and what do I want to be known for? What do I want to center my life around? Like, what are my priorities? Yeah.
That's a great book. It's just how to live, like how to live out your Christian faith, like in a faith that's resilient. So it's amazing.
Yeah, it's very thought provoking.
And then my last one that I had most recent that I really wanted to talk about or mention was The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. We both read that one.
I've read 26 books. I've read, I think, 26 books. Just a second. Pause, everybody. Pause. I've read 26 books. So I only have 14. I'm going to put that one down right now. Okay. Continue. Sorry.
So The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry is basically a book. It's exactly what it says in the title. It's just how to eliminate hurry from your life, and why just hurry in these.
You're saying hurry weird. You're saying like hurry.
Hurry.
I don't know. It sounded British or something. It sounded like you had an accent.
Hurry.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, continue.
But it's basically how to eliminate hurry from your life and why it's bad. It basically talking about how, like, I don't know, the culture today is just more just hustle culture, and just hurrying all throughout your day. And his argument is just like our goal as Christians is to live like Christ.
Yeah, and one of the points that he made at the beginning that I thought was like, whoa, what was it that he said? Nothing good comes out of you when you're in a hurry.
Yeah.
Right? Something to that extent.
Yeah, just think about like when you're hurrying and you're being late somewhere, every little thing gets on your nerves and just grinds your gears, gets you angry.
You do not display Christ well
when you're hurrying.
When you're in a hurry.
Which it's funny because after I read the book, we were listening to Air One radio, and they were talking about like the stereotype of New Yorkers and stuff. And she was like, yeah, New Yorkers are always like, the first thing you think of about New Yorkers is that they're just rude people, you know? And the person on the phone or something was a New Yorker. And it's like, no, we're not rude people. Like, they're actually some of the nicest people you can talk to. It's just, we're just in a hurry we're just got to get somewhere all the time. It's like,
got somewhere to be.
And I was like, oh, sorry. I kind of put my hands up like, there it is. If you're listening to the audio only podcast. Yeah. I was like, that just made the connection in my mind. It's like, it's when you're in a hurry, you're just not displaying Christ well. And he just goes through just different ways to eliminate hurry and how to just focus your life like more on Christ and living like Christ and slowing down and being intentional about everything, which was really good. Like I granted, I was reading it and I was like, it's funny because I was reading the book and I was looking at Gabby. I was like, he's making really good points like in this book about hurry and how these things to implement to be more intentional, to slow down and be more like Christ. And I was like, these are very good points. And I told Gabby, I was like, I think you should read this, and I think this is something we should talk about. But reading it, I can kind of tell that I don't really think I'd see eye to eye to him theologically on some things. I I could tell by reading the book. He didn't say certain things specifically that I was like, I don't believe that. I don't agree with you with that. But like just the way he was talking, I was like, I feel like we're not going to believe the same things.
Not quite the same things, yeah.
Yeah, and it was funny because we were talking to your sister about it, and she was just like, yeah, he was recently like in the news, like Christian news stuff about like he didn't believe in the like substitutionary atonement of Christ. I was like, what?
That's a big thing, yeah.
That is a kind of central point to Christianity, is that the fact that Christ died for our sins. I mean, he took the punishment for our sins on the cross.
Right.
And yeah, apparently he doesn't believe that, which I haven't looked a whole lot into why, and I was just like, haven't
dug into what he believes.
Yeah, that was just like blew my mind though. I was like, what? How do you not believe that? Right. It literally is just like in Isaiah it says like Christ was pierced for our transgressions, like crushed for our iniquities.
yeah, our punishment was on him.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like that doesn't make sense to me, but yeah, it was funny that I got that vibe from reading the book, even though he didn't say stuff like that. Everything he said, I think, was very biblical in terms of like what we should do with our lives, and like the themes in the Bible of like showing how to be like Christ. I was like, everything in there is really good, but I don't know what it was, just the way he was putting out the point. So I was like, I don't know if I'm going to see eye to eye with all of his beliefs. It just seems, it seemed a little weird, but all of his main points were solid, if that makes sense. It's a little strange. So, yeah, it's, if you're not a believer, you're probably just like, I have no idea like what you mean. But if you're a Christian, I think you might understand like where I'm coming from. I don't know. But, yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed that book, even though he doesn't believe in the penal substitutionary atonement of Christ.
Those are such big words.
Yeah.
No, I think that of the books that I've read this year, that one was really recent, probably in the last month. But within the last month, I think that it has impacted how I go about my day, and it has led to just less stress and a lot of good things. So, yeah. And if you're going to have a highlight in a book, that I feel like that would be a good outcome of a highlight in a book.
It's late. Well, late for us. It's almost 8:30. Gabby's usually finishing her first sleep cycle.
That's not true, but this is my wind down time, not my wind up time.
Yeah, we got the bright lights on and everything. So, was there any other book that
kind of stood out? So I read Firefly Lane.
Oh, yeah.
As just a side novel, which went through different time periods. I don't know if it would be historical fiction or not. I don't know. Yeah. I need to look more into like what classifies different categories of books. You know, what makes something historical, what makes something fantasy or fiction or like literary fiction.
Well, historical fiction is like
it's based in the past and it's not real.
Maybe I think it's about like certain things, like about big things, like
right, and it centered around some big things, like in the 70s, some of the like hippie movements.
I want to call that historical fiction, though. It'd be like historical fiction would be like the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. and the book is about the killer. And planning out that assassination and doing it, like something like that would be historical fiction. Like it's you're basically writing history, but like it's fiction. You're making it up because that part of history is not known.
Yes and no, because I'm fairly certain that a book set in a historical time period, like with a storyline that like interweaves with that time period, but not about certain events in history, is also historical fiction.
I guess we do need. I guess we do need to look.
Thank you.
I was thinking of what was that show? It was about a spy in the Revolutionary War. Turn, I think it was called. I watched it, and I said you should watch it, but you never watched it.
Oh, I forgot that I was supposed to watch it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was a while ago, like right when we were married, I think. Or no, it might have been before I might have watched it before we were married, and then like when we were married, I told you it was really good.
I'm starting to remember a little bit.
It's a great show. But,
I cannot attest.
Yeah, if you know a more clear definition of what historical fiction is, please let us know in the comments.
Anyways, this book, it followed a friendship of two girls throughout their lives, how they met each other, how their lives focused on different things.
Yeah.
But then in the end, there's like a crisis in one of their lives, and just how like the friendship ends up playing into that. Yeah. So I cried. I haven't cried in a book in a long time, but I cried in that book.
Well, that's because you haven't read the second half of Red Rising.
Okay.
I keep trying to push her to read the second half of Red Rising.
Well, I feel like at this point I'd need to read the first half again.
Yeah.
Probably.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
We bought Red Rising again for our brother-in-law. I think we've purchased the physical copy like 3 or 4 times for different people, and like we don't have the physical copy of the first 3.
Yeah, but that's okay.
We bought the first book like 4 times for other people,
and that's okay. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
We have the digital copies, so and the audiobooks, or actually the audiobooks of the same.
Yeah, and our bookcase is getting real full, so
yeah, we need to clear that out. Mm-hmm. But yeah, was there anything else?
Strong and Kind. I enjoyed that a lot, and Mom's Raising Sons to Be Men. Those have been 2 good parenting books I would recommend. The Strong and Kind kind of went through, there's just so much advice out there on how to raise children, and it's overwhelming. And from a biblical perspective, this author was talking about how she got advice as a young mom. It's like, what are 2 character traits in your children that you really want to instill in them? Just focus on those 2.
Yeah.
Right. And so her 2 traits were strong and kind. And so that just, I feel like, what are 2 traits that I want to focus on for our children to have in their lives? You know, what do I want their lives to be marked by? And how can I be intentional about instilling that in our children? We kind of chose 3, like honest, disciplined, and kind. So that's been good. And then Mom's Raising Sons to Be Men just had some really practical biblical advice, specifically for moms raising sons.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it could translate to little girls as well, but some really good specific advice for boys that I think will become more applicable as they get older.
Yeah, for sure.
That, and then, I mean, this is like circling way back to the beginning, but I've done a much better job outside of forgetting to write down just a little bit ago a book about tracking all of the things that I've read this year in my bullet journal. So that's been good. Much better than Goodreads.
Yeah.
Much better than Goodreads. That, and then, I mean, I can talk all day about food. But I don't know if I should.
We'll spare you guys this time. Yeah, so the rest of the year, what are we what's the plan in terms of what the viewers or listeners, followers can expect? Which it's crazy because we haven't posted in months, and we've in my opinion, we haven't really earned any trust in terms of what we're going to post or anything, but we've gained 5 or 6 subscribers since we stopped, which for our size is quite a bit actually, which is wild to me because the disc golf channel that I had has lost 200 or 300 subscribers since I haven't posted in so long, but this channel has gained subscribers, which is crazy.
Yes, so if you're one of those, thank you. I'm
thank
so
you,
happy that you've stuck around.
Yeah, which is crazy. So, but yeah, going forward, we want to commit to this, whether that's going to be a week, once a week. I think we're gonna try and do an episode once a week, but I don't want to completely tell you guys like once a week, expect it. But I want to say we're gonna try every week. It might come out to be every other week. I'm not sure, but this is definitely something that we want to commit to, at least right now. And if you're wanting to join us on that journey, then you are more than welcome to join us. Upcoming reviews, we got Lycanius, and then we're going to be talking about the Dandelion Dynasty. So bring your pitchforks, since you already know my thoughts on it. And
that's not. There were definitely elements you did enjoy that I've heard about.
Oh, I just saw another one. I read "Build a Business You Love" by Dave Ramsey. I read that. But anyways, so what do we do? Do we have like a book that we're thinking about reading the second half?
Yes and no. So you dragging your feet has kind of made it a little tricky to figure out what to read next. So right now I'm on like a side quest series that I don't think David's ever going to pick up. It's Powerless by Lauren Roberts.
Yeah.
I don't know what the series is called or how many books are in it. I heard it in like a YouTube video.
It's 4 books, I think.
Okay. I actually, you're right, because I put a hold on the library book a long time ago for Fearless, and that came up right when I was finishing the Dandelion Dynasty on Libby, and so I was like, perfect, I'll just read that next. And then I opened it and I'm like,
this is the conclusion of the series.
Conclusion of I I put the hold on the wrong book. But thankfully
she put on the hold on the last book in the series.
Yeah.
And so we had to get this first book. But did we have, like, because you said you wanted to do the Will of the Many.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, we talked about doing the Will of the Many because the Strength of the Few, which is the second book,
comes out in November.
Yeah, it comes out in November. So we have a few weeks. To read the Will of the Many. So I don't know. We might do that after I finish the Dandelion Dynasty sometime in December. But just kidding. But I'm gonna try to finish that book fast. So that one. And then I was reading, I actually stopped reading The Grace of Kings, which is the first book in the Dandelion series, Dandelion Dynasty, and started reading Empire of Silence. And I actually really liked Empire of Silence. I was getting into it. And then that's when Gabby was like, read the Dandelion Dynasty.
That's not how it went.
You didn't do it like that. But you basically were like, I really think that we can have a good conversation about this book.
I think that series could lead to a lot of good
that's what you kept saying.
Thought-provoking conversations.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thought-provoking series.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, okay, yeah, I'll finish it. And so I stopped reading Empire of Silence and started doing that. So that's on my list of what to read next as well. So so we'll probably do Will of the Many, and then and then I'm gonna do Empire of Silence probably. I don't know if you were gonna read that with me or not, or do the second half of Red Rising or what.
Only time will tell.
All right.
I have to read 14 more books apparently before the end of the year. So
six of them could be Red Rising. There you go. But do we just want to cut it off there?
Yeah, I think so. I think that seems like a good ending point.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments on any of this. But
and let us know what you're reading right now. I really like recommendations, and my books to read list is dwindling. So I need more recommendations.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have kind of heard the kind of books that we read, so let us know your suggestions in the comments of books you've loved, or anything in book talk, book club chat in the comments. So,
Cool.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.